all right. We got JAYSTRAYS episode 53. We've got new berries. I told you guys, if you were following my stuff last year, that I was going to be planting some additional berries. And so we were able to acquire boysenberry, gold raspberry, or fall gold raspberry, and royalty, or purple raspberry. So I already have Willamette raspberries out there, red raspberries. So we're going to start getting these guys in the pots, and then we'll also be transitioning over. We've got a whole bunch of seeds back there, and so we're going to be getting all of our starters inside of those little containers right there with soil and pre-prepping them so when they can transfer out to the garden boxes. Thanks for joining me, JAYSTRAYS, episode 53. All right, so we got some just regular Miracle-Gro organic choice. It's raised bed and in-ground soil, and so we're going to use some of that soil to plant our berries. So we got our 3 pots here, and we just make it easy on ourselves. Handy trowel. The container's already empty, and so we're going to just get a nice level in there. Alright, so we're just wanting to get a little level, and then you kind of want to create like a little, I just kind of create like a little nest for it to be. And so let's put the boysenberry in first. You always want to be careful with these guys. And it might even actually be easier for me to just rip the bag. And then it's easier for him to kind of just come into my hand here. His entire root system. And so additional soil is obviously a component of this. So we're just going to top him off a little bit. This good organic soil. And you don't want to push the soil down too much. You want it to just kind of breathe. And you also don't want to get too full. I get just underneath the line. Okay. So there's our boysenberry. Okay, he's ready to go. Let's rock and roll our next little guy. It's going to be this fall gold raspberry. So get him out of this little sleeve here. And again, we're going to just go ahead and use our soil here and kind of just get this thing going with the trowel. And again, just kind of creating a little nest so his little roots have a kind of a place to kind of just gently rest in there. Okay, we're going to make this a little easier on ourselves. Again, we're going to just rip the bag. kind of reveals his little root system. And we can get him down in there. So do this, and pull it out. And we're going to just top him off. Some more good soil. Again, I'm kind of just nestling our little friend here, the fall gold. And so that he's got a staple little home now. He's just chilling. He's got a little more developed stock. That's why I grabbed him. And so there's the fall raz. And then let's rock out our other friend here, the royalty. All right, so this is a continuation of I guess it would just be part 2 in our gardening series, but this is episode 53 of JAYSTRAYS. So here we are, kind of pushing the first week of April here. Got to get stuff in the seedlings going here. If I don't do that with great haste, then I miss my opportunity. Now, as I explained before, there's a mountain yonder, and it's called Peavine Mountain. If you watch could be my second or third episode, I go up Peavine Mountain, and that's the barometer for planting. And so, basically what you want to do is you can get these starters going. You can do them earlier than I'm doing them. I'm just a little behind because I was waiting on a seed order. I actually ordered some seeds this year. And so basically, once the snow is melted from the mountain, then it's okay for these starters to all go into raised beds and that sort of thing. All right, so let me get things kind of organized here to explain. We've got our popsicle sticks. This is just generic labeling, okay? So I do that for myself. And then here we got the Jason battery. Okay, let's just move that out of the way. Just try to organize here. And so basically we already have existing open seeds. All these are from last year, and I have quite an impressive assortment, as it were. And so between the old stuff that we have, and then we got a whole bunch of new stuff, so let's just show those off again. I might have already shown that, but I got parsnips, we got lemon cucumbers, lavender, we got Chinese cabbage. It's almost like romaine. If you look at it, it's almost kind of like a romaine heart. It's a Mizuna, early Mizuna, and that's almost like frisee, if you guys know that. Then we got very awesome striped German tomato. These are heirloom, and they look kind of pumpkin orange. We also got some gold Jubilee. Those are kind of like grape tomatoes. We got turnips. We've got some other strawberries. You already see my Sequoia strawberries out there. We'll see them again. We'll do an update out there in the box. So we got the Sequoia strawberries, and these are actually Alpine strawberries. These are French. We've got heirloom rainbow colored beets. We got to get some beets going this year. Purple cauliflower, hallelujah. So we got the white cauliflower and the purple, so we'll have 2 of those. wheatgrass. You can't, you know, this thing's, you see how it's all in a little cup there. It's because it's perfect for squeezing and turning into juice. So I'm trying to get more healthy here. Every single year that we try to do a little bit, you know, changing of the recipe here. Sometimes it's different stuff, sometimes it's the same stuff. Last year I hit it heavy on the chilies and peppers. This year we're doing a little variety pack, but don't get me wrong, we'll still have some chilies and peppers. So this is just a small assortment. This is all of my chilies and peppers from last year. We got the popsicle sticks, like I said, for generic labeling. Here is the soil that we're going to use. Oh, how convenient. We have a Swiss Army knife. So this is the guy that we're going to use. And it's easy for me, just to throw it out there for everybody. It's easy for just the purposes of getting these little cups ready. So, you know, get this little bag open. You need this little trowel. And I like to pre-mix, okay? So that's something I did when I did this last year, if you guys were, caught my last starter gardening. So basically we're gonna get our little mixing pail going, get some water going, and get these all set up with some soil, and then we can plant some seeds. Thanks for joining me. JAYSTRAYS, episode 53, garden video number 2 of 2025. So I showed this little step last year. Forgive the speed of the water. So I showed this little step last year. So I fill it up with soil. That's that potting seed, that starter seed mix, okay? And I'll go ahead and get some water in here, like I'm making a cake. Then I use my little hand trowel, just kind of slowly move it around, introduce that moisture to the soil. People always put like dry soil down first and then add water. For me, it doesn't really make sense. For me, what makes sense is to hydrate the soil first, okay? Set it inside of those cups. You saw the cups. So set it inside of the cups. Then you've kind of pre-moisturized the deployment area. You like those words? Deployment area of where the seeds will actually go. So it's almost a little soupy. And that's, you know what? And that's totally perfect for me. And let me tell you why. Because each of these are inside of a each of these little cups are actually has got a little perforation, so excess soil water will just come out in the tray on the bottom to begin with. All right, so now we got our soil mixture to go. Let's fill up these little cups. Okay, and we're back. So I wanted to, you know, just kind of predetermine what I wanted to plant. So I've got some stuff that I've kind of prioritized. So we're going to start off with a friend lavender. Okay, and I've talked about this in other videos, just to let you guys know. Lavender, when grown, it's the right recipe if you're trying to create the conditions for the pollinators, the bees, bumblebees, hornets, ladybugs. So you want to, you know, plant things that can sustain and help that. And so that's what we're doing here is we're gonna plant some lavender. I'll do 2 cups of it. So some of this stuff I'm doing 2 cups of it because I'm gonna hook up my good friend Doris with her garden with some lavender too. So I only use like half the package and then I reserve it. Okay, this is a thing I did in my garden episodes last year, if you guys check them out. And so we know it's lavender, so we just go ahead and label it lavender. And I'm going to top it off with seeds, but this I'm getting the seeds in first, label it, and then I'll top it off. Lavender again. Okay, Now, sticking with our herbal situation, and we're going to go to the wheatgrass next. Then I'm essentially just doing 2 of each here on these guys. And I'll do singles on other stuff. But this is a superfood, wheatgrass. So, in the JAYSTRAYS garden, we're striving for, and I can always add some more soil, which is what I'm going to do. Just a smidge more soil in here. There. Nestle that a little around a little bit. Our farm-to-table operation, we're constantly striving to bring more and more holistic and organic superfoods to the table. Put those in there. Okay. This is the wheatgrass. There's the train, if you heard that in the background. Train loves to sound off. I'm really close to the Truckee I-80 corridor, and the train runs on that corridor. Alright, so these two, we got 2 more, and these are wheatgrass this time. Well, there's 2 wheatgrass. Alright, we shall continue. Alright, so we're still rocking the first tray. Just an update. So we got 2 lavender, we got 2 wheatgrass, 2 basil, 2 sage, 2 lemon cucumbers, 2 alpine strawberries. Now we're going to do 2 of the German heirloom striped tomatoes. So we're just kind of doing doubles of everything in this particular tray, except for one. I'm going to be actually doing just 1 of the mesclun right there. Okay, it's for my friend. We do a lot of dinners at her house, so I'm trying to hook her up with more stuff that she can actually add to the salad plate when we're having entrees. So this is the German striped tomato, is what I just planted. German striped. And of course that's a repeat. German striped. Tomato. We got 1 more double here. And then this is those golden, basically grape tomatoes. So that's going to be our last double. And then we got that'll sew up this tray and once we put this lettuce in. And then we're going to, on the other 2 trays, we'll be doing singles of different things. Alright, so this is the grape tomato. It's golden in color. Perfect. And just, everybody can do it their own way. I mean, I don't count seeds or anything. I do what's called a rough guesstimation. And so I kind of analyze how much is actually in there. And I try to reserve at least half if it's a new thing that I'm planting. And there's a theory to that. Because if the first one was a seed starter doesn't take, I still have some seeds to try to replant again before the season's over. Or, you know, I can try to get a second crack at it, you know. So we'll just call this gold grape. Tomato. Gold grape. mesclun sweet salad mix. Highly recommend. Salad is always a good thing to have in your arsenal of food products. I reserve quite a bit of seeds. Let's give this guy just a touch of soil. I always reserve some of this soil, like I said, to kind of put a little extra in there if I need to, if it looks a little, like it needs a little extra. There's some mesclun. Beautiful. We'll just reserve that. So I'll just put it mesclun lettuce. Mesclun lettuce. That's our first tray. Now we're going to actually, before I put any soil on these, I'm going to get the others organized so I can kind of show it all together and me doing the seeds being covered. All right, thanks for joining me, JAYSTRAYS, episode 53. All right, light's getting a little unforgiving in here. Let's do a quick update. We got 3 trays. So we got the German striped tomatoes, we got ×2. We've got those Alpine strawberries, 2 of those. We've got lemon cukes ×2. Sage, we've got 2 of those. 2 of the basil, 2 wheatgrass, 2 lavender, and then we have 2 of the gold grape tomato. Mesclun, we've got 1 there, 1 here. 2 purple cauliflower, 2 rainbow beets. Early Mizuna, which is like frisee, it's a lettuce. We have 2 white cauliflower, parsnips, Chinese cabbage, which is like a romaine heart. Short top carrots, Nanantes carrots, dill, we got 2 of those. Rainbow carrots, 2 of those. Purple white top turnip. We got grape tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes, purple green beans, 2 of those. Regular green beans, 2 of those. Rainbow bell peppers, 2 of those. Anaheim chili, banana pepper, serrano pepper, habanero, peppercini, jalapeno, all my chilies. Watermelon, cantaloupe, radish, and cucumbers. So that is our haul. It's a bigger haul than last year. Let's take a quick peek out here. So just a couple of quick tidbits as the sun is going down here. So our strawberries already starting to flower. Look at that, already starting to flower. That's the Sequoia strawberries. So that's a good sign. We've been getting these boxes ready. These are just need to be turned. On this guy, this is where I was talking about where there was tomatoes growing and I had the beans growing. Well, if you can see, all those little sprouts right there are sunflowers. All of those are sunflowers. They're just everywhere. Sunflowers everywhere. And so there might be some sprinkle of Jerusalem artichoke. But last year, this is where I was growing purple green beans, regular green beans. We had 2 types of tomatoes over here. Changed the whole game on this box. Every box has its own, principal purpose. This, since we're commandeering new space, so this will be all sunflowers. Here's the herb box. We've got things like, this is the dill we grew last year. We're gonna, plant a new dill. Greek oregano is still coming in. The cilantro is funny. It was growing here. Oh, see this? Oh, what happened? We jumped to another spot on the box. So the cilantro is over here by this crazy mushroom thing that my sister gave me. Decorative piece. You can see our blackberry. The blackberry is coming back to life. Okay, you got the raspberry. He's coming back to life. I got some, forgive me, I got some leaves to take out here. We got some more hard work to put in this backyard. But here's the Sequoia strawberry box. Now, I don't see any white flowers. Those first white flowers I saw were on that side. But you can see I'm trying to get this thing to fill in the rest of this box. If you follow my last videos from last summer from gardening, this whole thing was 11 different peppers and chilies. So we're again, it's just like we're redesigning the sunflower box to make it all sunflowers. We're taking the sequoia strawberry and we're just making that, that's our thing, is we're trying to get this to fill all the way in and increase our yield on the strawberries. And then this is where the blueberry is. Okay, that was the last episode. You see he's doing pretty well. He's all by himself. Just got to clean up some weeds around him and stuff like that. And then this is I showed it in another video. There's a grape bush on the other side here. It's like 40-year-old rootstock. Well, every year this grape bush comes back. I don't even mess with this stuff. I just let it come, and it grows over this thing. And one of the things that I do, you'll see in my videos when I'm watering, I don't even know if I actually get much watering on film, but when the grape bushes leaves are coming over, I actually water the grapes from this side, and it basically creates a microclimate over here, you know. So we go from his grapes to my blueberries to my strawberries to my raspberries to my blackberries to my herbs to my sunflowers to more sequoia strawberries, right? We just saw the first little baby flowers in there. Okay, and then what we're going to do with this guy, we're basically going to expand this guy. We're going to expand it, because what we have over here behind door number 2, folks, door number 2, is our other berry bushes that are in the pipeline. So we got boysenberry, fall gold raspberry, and the royalty purple. And there are already leaves on that purple raspberry. So what we're doing with that box over there, we're making it like the same as this. So see how this one's long? We're going to make it the same as that in dimension, but we're going to replace the middle boards and expand it. And then we'll plant the berries along that fence, because they're getting sun all day long along this fence line. And so that's really the agenda there. And then you'll see another video here shortly where you see me prep this little garden box here. This is going to be a sunken bed, if you will, up against a former river rock fountain. And so what we're doing is I had to clear some space. That's why the J20 had to get running, so that I can get my soil back here. So now the J20 can run, bringing in soil. That'll be another episode. You'll see me rehab this, get soil in, and pre-prep this as the landing pad for all these seed starters that you see that I just planted in this video. So, you know, we got some various stages of work that take place in order to contribute to our farm to table operation. So as you can see, everything's nicely planted. Now I'm going to just put some topper soil on each one of these, and then that will complete our little segment here. Let's get that going. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. I had to throw that extra one in. I found an extra, I was wondering why I was missing one little container. And luckily we had one more thing to grow. So, we're signing off. JAYSTRAYS, episode 53. This is the second in the Garden Video 25 series. You're going to see those eventually, sprout. We'll do a little update on them sprouting. But the big thing to be looking for is the sunken bed that I'm going to be rehabbing, and I'm going to be getting fresh soil. I think that fresh soil might be coming as soon as tomorrow. So I would stay tuned for that video here in a few episodes. Is the sunken in fountain, river rock fountain now being a sunken garden bed. So thanks for sticking around. JAYSTRAYS. Probably blinding my camera with my headlamp. Hey, so we'll see you guys in that next video. Thanks for sticking around. JAYSTRAYS.